Hey, GW coming to you live. I know it's a little bit off that I'm on here on a weekday, but my wife has been sick. She has a stomach virus, so I stayed home to, take care of her, which is what every good husband should do. But I wanted to drop this movie review yesterday. Uh, yeah, I was watching this movie on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you guys ever heard it. It's called The Black Demon. Yeah, I know I sound like crap. I haven't had anything to drink yet, but I'm allergies too. Stars Josh Lucas and Venus Ariel, and basically it's a shark movie in the form. It's hard to explain, but it's an eco thriller, which turned a lot of people off. I'll get to that in a minute. But it's also supposed to be about a uh, killer shark who is actually a manifestation of a Mexican demon. It's very, very complex, but I'm going to get into it right now, and I'm going to tell you what it's about. Because I watched this thing, and there's good and there's bad, and there's just plain ugly screenwriting in this thing. So Josh Lucas plays a guy from an oil company who goes out to Mexico to decommission one of the last oil rigs that is around. He's supposed to shut it down, cease production, going. In the process of that move, he also takes his family on vacation. He has a wife and two kids. And the minute they get to this Mexican town, you guys could tell just from the layout, it is barren. There's a handful of people there. And what's weird is they keep referring to a demon that destroyed all of their business. And the few local people there are just against the oil companies, against, oil tycoons and that sort of thing. What's more interesting is the story doesn't really pick up off the ground in that respect, but it does. It makes you wonder, like, what you're actually getting into until the story is set up and laid out before your eyes. Basically, there are fishermen that will only go a certain distance into the water because after that it's pretty much like, dude, you're on your own, because they don't feel safe. They get bad vibes, bad juju, whatever. Now, the first time you see the shark pop up to the water to destroy a boat, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, guys, I'm not going to lie. And it fills you with hope that maybe this will be a really good, gory shark attack movie, and it'll be, a harrowing nail biter. But sadly, the movie falls flat, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in the last quarter of the movie, they spend 95% drilling in your head that you should not pollute the ocean, you should not throw oil in the ocean, which everybody knows, and I don't think there's a person alive that wants to be preached at when they go see a monster movie. Other than that, the film suffers from lack of blood. I mean, there's a few cool attacks. One guy gets bitten in half, but most of the attacks are off screen. And actually, Jaws 3 had more blood in it than this thing. More gore, I should say, not blood. Now, the film does start out very cool. Two divers are going down, one gets ripped in half, and, typical shark attack fashion, bloody water. But it never delivers on the premise that it should. Now, the other interesting thing is you're not dealing with a great white shark. You're not dealing with a hammerhead. No, you're not dealing with a mako. You're dealing with a megalodon shark. And interestingly enough, this came out right before the Meg 2. So I don't know if these guys, the director of this film, actually planned it that way. But it's an okay movie. Actually, if you take out some of the gore, it would be a made-for-TV thing. A few F words are sprinkled throughout, but the story drives home. It concerns itself more with environmental safety than it does with shark attacks. And I was really disappointed because I saw the trailer, about 2-3 months ago, whatever. And I'm like, dude, this could be like the Jaws we never got, right? The Jaws that was rated R, that that we could, see a lot of blood and gore, and it would be a tense, shark attack thriller, man versus shark. And no. But I'm not trashing the movie. I'm not saying it's worthless. What I'm saying is it's not my cup of tea, because it could have done a lot better. It could have actually spent about 15 minutes on the eco thriller or the eco safety lesson, and then catapulted us right into the story, much like, I'll give you an example, like you guys might not know, the Toxic Avenger. It spent probably 5 seconds explaining to us why toxic waste is bad, and then catapults us into the story of Melvin Junko, who later turns in, or Melvin Ferd, I'm sorry, because Melvin Junko came later, into the Toxic Avenger. It's an environmental cautionary tale. But it was violent. It didn't throw it in your face. The Black Demon seems to go over and over and over toward the middle and the third act of the film, telling you about the dangers and why this shark is here. Now, the other thing is the ending. If you guys have seen it, I'm not going to ruin it, but let's just say that the movie could have went a completely different direction, and it almost seemed like the screenwriter said, you know what, throw this guy to the wolves, throw Josh Lucas to the wolves, we don't care. Which is fine, I get it, and it does fit in the story, but there was a million directions they could have went with that. The other thing that kind of gets lost is the underlying story of the demon. Because at the end of the movie, the shark is destroyed, right? Because you guys all know that, because there's not going to be a sequel. But at the end of the movie, they tease on the fact there may be something in the works. But here's my problem. If this demon, this shark demon that destroys people because of their environmental neglect, if the first one didn't do good in the theater, why would you create a second one or give the illusion that something is going to do? The other problem I have with the shark is the shark does look scary, yes. And most of the shots of the shark are in dark water, so you barely get a look at it, but it does add to the menacing factor. The problem I have with it is the CGI is just done very, very poorly, guys. It's not even good CGI. Like, it's not on the level of Deep Blue Sea CGI. You know what I'm saying? It's just low budget CGI. The story was good. And there are some callbacks to Jaws, because every shark movie uses Jaws. The shark fin coming up at the very beginning of the movie when the shark attacked the boat was pretty interesting, pretty cool, and you get the sense that this might be exciting, it might be it might make your heart race. Sadly, the Black Demon does fall flat because it spends, again, more time educating you about why this thing is after this oil guy rather than, just the supernatural force at play. Now, the cast does a pretty good job. I don't know them off the bat, but they do pretty well. Some of the acting, though, I think could have been better, but for a shark movie that barely played in the theaters, I would say this is probably okay at best. So if you're looking for something to have on while you're vacuuming, or you want to see a monster movie that's mediocre, check out The Black Demon. I wish it could have been done better. I wish it could have been the next Jaws, because I think that's what we need. In the wake of remakes, I mean, everybody's remaking everything, as I went over clearly. But I think we need a good, hard-hitting, hard-edged shark thriller that scares people into going into the water, just like Jaws did back in 1975. But I don't think we're going to get that. And there is fan-made trailers of Jaws, the new movie, on there. And it's just snippets of other movies combined. And it's not really, trust me, there's no Jaws remake. Now, there was talk about it, as I said, with Tracy Morgan playing Matt Hooper and this and that kind of fell flat. And it was supposed to be, like I said, a hard R-rated R, gore-filled monster movie that took the subject of a killer shark very seriously. But for whatever reason, it never came to fruition. And with the Hollywood strike, I mean, God only knows if they'll get back to it. Now, a couple other things unrelated to that film. First of all, this weekend I went to Spirit of Halloween, and you guys probably go there every year. And Spirit of Halloween is a store that has everything horror related, basically costumes, knives, props, gravestones. I mean, mock up everything. And I went there for the first time, and I really enjoyed the store. And getting to go to that store was a little bit of a trick. My wife hates Halloween. It's no surprise. She thinks it's a dumb holiday where you give candy out and you watch stupid movies. However, she's learned to bend because of me. So anyway, we go there. And right off the bat, you know, I picked up some cool stuff. And there might be something special that I might get next time. But getting her to go was a trick, because she does not like Halloween. She doesn't like killer clowns. She doesn't like, you know, different things. But at the same time, I made a deal with her. I said, you know, decorate the whole house up full of Christmas. I don't care. Just let me have my Halloween. And I'm not getting props for Halloween, guys. I'm getting props for my house, because I'm a big horror fanatic. But it was a very cool place, and I want to give the people who work there very much props, because they are very nice, very friendly. They are very cool to talk to, and they're very down to earth. So big shout out to the people at Spirit Halloween. And I know I talked to some of the cashiers, two of them. There was a dude and there was a chick, and I forget their name. And I know I gave them my YouTube channel. So if you guys check this out, I want you guys to know that I really appreciate your business. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about some other things. We have a couple of passings, you know, a couple of deaths. Bob Barker died recently. And you guys know Bob Barker was the long-running host of Wheel of Fortune before Drew Carey took over. He was always advocating about spaying, neutering your pets. And he was definitely the perfect example of a game show host. In wrestling, I don't know if you guys heard, if you're a wrestling fanatic, you guys might have heard Bray Wyatt, aka, well, Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, passed away. He had he had a heart attack. Basically, Bray Wyatt was one of those guys that created characters. And WWE kind of let him do whatever. He was Bray Wyatt. He was the member of the Wyatt family. His character was, you know, from the swamp, always carried a lantern. You guys, he was very, very polarizing, a very polarizing character. He was morbid to the fact you wanted to see what he'd done next. And he had had good matches with John Cena, you know, a lot of people. In fact, one of his most notable matches was a swamp match, which was really cool. He did the actual Firefly Inferno match with Randy Orton, which was very, very cool. They set the whole arena on fire. Storylines were just incredible. They dealt with a bit of voodoo and Mississippi swamps and all that kind of cool stuff. Then he changed to the Beast. The Beast was something out of a nightmare, and it was something that fans was a little bit shocking. The Beast competed in Hell in a Cell matches and such, but yeah, the Beast was also in the Firefly Funhouse match against Randy Orton, that character. Bray Wyatt was, aka Wyndham Rotunda, was a hell of a talent, and I don't think we'll see anything like him again. He definitely created a lot of unique things for WWE, and definitely a talent that will be missed. And another talent that will be missed in the wrestling world is Terry Funk. And even if you guys don't watch wrestling, you probably have heard about Terry Funk. Terry Funk actually came up with the hardcore style of wrestling back in the day. He would go to Japan, do deathmatch tournaments, In fact, he was on the first ever tournament or King of the Death match back in Japan. Terry Funk was also in ECW, and one of his most famous clips was he brought a flaming branding iron into the ring. And that clip pretty much solidified his career. He took things to the next level and then some. He has done countless amazing matches and was one of the most down-to-earth guys you can ever talk to. But like I said, he is credited for creating the hardcore style. When I was growing up, I used to hear, about, barbed wire matches and Terry Funk, and I didn't know who Terry Funk was. And, yeah, he was definitely a talent. And ICP fans should know him as Drunk Terry Funk from the Stranglemania VHS that came out years ago. That was actually, ICP got their hands on some deathmatch footage and did some commentary over it, and it was great. So Drunk Terry Funk, aka Terry Funk, he'll be missed as well. What else I got going on? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is amazing. And the AEW Stadium Stampede mode, I want to talk about that for just a minute. Because there's been a lot of back and forth about this, and some people love it, some people hate it, some people think it's stupid, and some people wonder why it's even in the game in the first place. Well, I'm going to share my thoughts on it. Kenny Omega, the creator of AEW Fight Forever, along with Tony Khan, came up with the concept. They wanted to do a Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite is obviously the most popular Battle Royale game there ever was. And AEW did put a Stadium Stampede match on. It was 5-on-5. But they wanted their online player base to be increased, so they made 30 people in it. And honestly, the game is dumb fun. That mode is dumb fun because you can pick anybody, run around this stadium, and attack people with basically anything from tennis rackets to Molotov cocktails. Now, it will take a little bit for you to learn how to play Stadium Stampede. The other thing is they took from Fortnite the closing barrier. So you have to constantly be out of the way of this barrier as it falls down. I've played it at least 12 times. And you know what? It is dumb fun, and it's something that you could have a lot of fun with if you don't take it seriously. And I think what's happening is people have wanted something more, which AEW Fight Forever is already working on. They're working on a Blood and Guts mode. They're working on, single player Stadium Stampede. But the problem is that stuff takes time, it takes effort, and it will be added in the game eventually. So, all the people that play AEW Fight Forever, if y'all just stick with it, I got a feeling the way Kenny Omega always talks about video games, I think we're in for a treat because he is not going to let this just go to the wayside. He's going to try to improve the game the best he can, and by doing that, that takes time. Now, Stadium Stampede, like I said, you watch YouTube videos, you'll see that people either hate it or love it or go, what the hell is this? And it's an idea for just to have stupid fun. And if you take that not so seriously like you do with Fortnite, you're going to have a good time. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's confined. But there's a lot of things you can do. And if you guys have never seen a Stadium Stampede match, or your first one was yesterday when AEW All In pay-per-view was on, I suggest you go back to the first Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing and watch that. It is one of the craziest off-the-wall matches there is. But you know what? It was entertaining. And that's what the Stadium Stampede mode does. It makes it entertaining. You know what? And if you get put out, you can always jump back into another match. My wife has watched me. Now, she hates Fortnite. But being this is a Fortnite clone, she likes it a little bit better, I think, because she can identify with it. So definitely give it a whirl. I really like the mode. I wouldn't want to play it all day. But, 5 or 6 games in a row, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre is pretty awesome, too. They actually are talking about adding 2 new characters in the future, so I cannot wait. And I'm down for anything that they release as a DLC because I cannot stop playing it. It is the stupidest game and broken down into its very fundamental elements. It's a hide and seek where the victims hide and escape, and you're the killer and you go kill them. Basically, stupid fun again, but it's addictive. So, yes, I'm only home because, like I said, my wife is sick. Stomach doesn't feel good, and being the good husband I am home taking care of her. And I just I'm just trying here, guys. And to my man Justin, my man Connor, Ashley, you know, all the people that down with me. I want to thank you guys because we have been pouring out videos for 2 years, 3 years now, off and on. And Casey and Emily, I cannot thank you guys enough for telling me to keep going. Rebecca Lowe's, who actually started me on this, along with Justin Mays, you know, Mike Byers, everybody that I know has had nothing but positivity about my videos that I put out. And they learn a little something. And I might not be always on point, but I try to educate you guys, and I try to get you guys knowing about what you don't know about. But, you know, there's one person that I wish would get in contact with me. And Dre, you know who you are. I'm not going to rehash. Everybody here, watch my channel, know who you are. So, also, one little quick thing before I go. There is a trailer circulating around on YouTube. It's called Halloween Origins of Evil. And I want to tell you guys, there's no such movie like that coming out. I know a lot of people love Michael Myers. They love the whole storyline. They love the little kid thing. They love whatever. That's a fan-made video. Because I checked it out. And I'm like, is there really a Halloween movie coming out? No. Now, there should be. Yes. But is there? No. So, I just wanted you guys to be warned because there are fan-made videos, trailers popping up around the internet. One of the most famous ones was Titanic 2, Jack's back. But, guys, seriously, watch it. It's ridiculous. My wife swore they were making a sequel. They're not. Because Leonardo DiCaprio died, you know, in the film. But in the trailer, you see him resurrected. He's already got... No. That's what CGI will do. That's what people that are bored will do. Anyway, check it out. And I'm going to go take care of my wife. And I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you had a great weekend. We'll come to you live once again. But like I said, The Black Demon, 5 out of 10. I don't know. Not the greatest shark movie. Maybe it's right up there with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I mean, who knows? I never watched that piece of garbage. I don't know why. Because I just don't care. Anyway, catch you guys later.